That is
Rye
a very
Cheerio?
specific diet.
Yep, it sure is.
I don't know that I had any like specific diet like that, but
Nah,
I like
man. I just wanted food in me.
my best friend in high school would only for like 2 years would only eat chicken nuggets. No
Wow.
lie. Frozen or McDonald's does not matter. If we went out to eat, chicken tenders, or boneless chicken wings, because they are chicken nuggets, not boned chicken wings. Don't you dare put a bone in his chicken wings. But boneless? Fuck yeah, he loves a chicken nugget.
Yeah, I went through a pretty serious tender phase. Out to eat, I'd only get the tenders. Those tendos. I didn't like things that most kids liked. Like, I didn't like mac and cheese. I didn't like peanut butter. I don't like hot dogs. It's like the basic kid foods.
You don't like peanut butter at all?
Is peanut butter a basic kid food?
PB&J.
Yeah, PB&J. Ants on a log.
I don't mind it with celery, and I don't mind it in one singular Reese's peanut butter cup.
Okay.
Which one?
The front or the back one?
Whichever end I'm opening it, the closest one to me, and then the other one goes in the freezer until I forget about it for the next few months, and I'm like, oh my gosh!
Oh,
wait,
and then it's the singular Reese's cup. Nice. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then it's the closest one to you suddenly.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
That's awesome. Okay.
It's a system that never ends.
I like that system. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice, A Wider World. My name is M, and I play Haribo Tamagotchi. Currently, halfling? That feels his natural state. He's a changeling artificer. I don't know if I said that, but the changeling, yeah, currently as a halfling. The question of the day is something that we did to pass our time as a kid. Me, I think it was... It's like, I mean, it's a heavy mixture of either Pokemon, specifically Pokemon, for sure. Pokemon. Love Pokemon. Since it hit America. Love that shit. Or just like running around with a stick in the woods. Always a set of woods near my house. Get a stick and my imagination runs wild. Which, when I found D&D, I was like, what the fuck? I can actually do that without hurting someone with a stick? That's cool. That's really cool.
Hurt people with sticks.
I can fake hurt people with sticks, and it's really it feels like I'm a kid running through the woods when I play D&D. Like, no joke. It feels like so good. Haribo, it was drawing. He was really into like drawing and coloring. Like a lot of kids are, as they like pick up color, but like Haribo got pretty good at it until his parents took that away from him. So no more using that to pass the time. It was all studying. Study, Haribo.
Hi, my name is Lawrence, and I play the gelatinous bard Sparkalonius. What I did as a kid, I guess, is tangentially related to what M did. I had a lot of fake plastic swords that I would run around the yard with, and I would just whack weeds with them. I would just hit grass. My parents have lots of pictures calling me the lawnmower. You know, never an even cut, never a good cut, but a cut nonetheless.
Wait, these fake swords were cutting the grass? Oh, wow.
I mean, yeah, if you swing something at grass hard enough, it'll probably get it.
Grass is not strong.
Yeah, I was swinging all over the place. 5-year-old strength knows no bounds. And then old Sparkalonius. Sparkalonius, I think, was very, especially at a very young age, was very fascinated with his own form. He would just sort of make himself into various shapes, fit himself into crevices. His parents lost him for probably about 5 hours underneath the cupboards one day, and he just oozed right back out and said, "Hello, I'm here. I'm ready for dinner."
Oozed right back out.
I can't imagine being a parent to a gelatinous mass. You know?
Yeah, it's probably very, very troublesome.
Like, I mean, the amount of, tantrums I've seen in person, and I'm sure through. I can't imagine being being a parent to a gelatinous mass throwing a tantrum. It'll just ooze out of your fingers.
Ew.
What are you gonna do? I'm just gonna spread myself 1 inch thick everywhere.
Exactly. Put me in timeout. No,
I
I'm in the
worst
You
wall.
can't make me go to
tantrum.
school unless you mop me up.
The worst tantrum.
Hi, my name is Grace Stringer, and I play necromantic. I almost said bard. I'm not a bard.
Emphasis on the romance.
Um, healer, shifter person, Marjorie Ridgeback, and me, Grace. I was a big draw one that likes to draw. Um, I had that special paper with those special markers that the Crayola magic markers that would only work on that one kind of paper, so they couldn't make a mess anywhere.
Sure.
And I was
Sure.
super into that. Also liked going outside to catch bugs and put them in, those little like log shaped bug boxes that you could
Yeah.
get, like this mesh. I just fill those with bugs. And then Marjorie, she probably likes to steal.
I want to steal.
Getting better at stealing, at thieving. Yeah.
Love that. Stealing. Good. Mike?
Did we
Hello?
lose Mike?
Did we lose Mike?
His picture's not there anymore.
Was his picture there?
Briefly. Oh, he's muted.
Oh. Huh. Is he? No.
Oh, he was. I saw the little.
Huh. Well. Interesting.
All right. Am I back?
Yeah.
You're back.
There you are.
Okay. Not sure what happened there. Suddenly.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm Michael. I play Thaddeus Offcut, the mountain dwarven fighter. In my early childhood, I liked to play in the creeks and the ponds behind my parents' house. When I made my way to high school, I did take up swords. And my now brother-in-law, who was one of my best friends in high school, he and I used to go out into the woods at our boarding high school and literally beat the crap out of each other with fake swords.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has gone on to become a Shinkendo swordmaster, and I have
Oh,
not. So we don't so
dang.
much sword fight anymore.
It's not fair
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. I don't want to embarrass him, since he's put all that time into training. Uh, Thaddeus, as a child, was an adventurer as he is as an adult. He liked to spend times exploring into the mines and the mountains and around the mountains, and he was always off doing things he shouldn't have been doing. So that's how he spent most of his youth.
I feel it. I feel it.
So far, we all like.
I think I did that all the way through college, yeah.
And I'm Theodore Stringer, the game master, player of every other character. In my youth, I did a lot of reading. I also like to sort things. I think in a harkening back, oft times my bedroom floor was covered in Pokemon cards, sorted by their attack or their HP or their color or any other way that I could think of. I still do that. Now it's magic cards though, and I definitely need to get through and sort those at some point because they're a mess.
So many.
So many big hefty boxes of them. Let's see. Barson, in his childhood, he liked to sit in like the eaves balcony type deal above his parents' shop, overlooking like Market Street in wherever. And he liked to drop things on passersby as they walked the street. He did the things he dropped. He was always dropping like pocket change, so it was like money.
But from how high? Because that could be fucked up.
I mean, like second floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just
just
rude.
Like,
yeah.
How
just
heavy
like.
isn't the money like metal coins in this world?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Just
Yeah. It was.
rude.
He was definitely dropping silvers on people.
Get clonked in the head.
Does anyone know canonically like what the size of this? Is it like a quarter? Is the money? What is the size of the money?
The size of a $50 or better.
Okay, that's thick.
Yeah,
That's sizable.
I'm imagining that like copper coins are closer to quarter size, maybe. But the silvers and the golds are definitely like, a doubloon or a $50 or something like that.
Oh, I was picturing like nickels, not nickels size.
No, we've got.
No
This is
nickels.
the $100 coin. No one wants to hand you a nickel. That's not $100 worth of coinage. It has to weigh like $100 worth of coin.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. Back to our story. And when last we were in our story, we had just gotten jumped, kind of. We knew it was coming. We knew that we were going to get got here. But we walked right into it anyways because we had a plan. And our plan was to pretend to be a band, which, if memory serves, it's two synths,
I've actually
and Sparkalonius.
This is true. It's funny. I've just drafted a message to the person who could possibly help us out with this, and the message reads, it's pretty goofy actually, because it also helps inform us of how much of a jerk Haribo was in the moment, I think. I deleted it. Dang. I had all the instruments listed. It was like a glass harmonica, a bike horn with 3 to 5 notes, a trumpet, and a synth. What a band.
Trying to think of a way to shoehorn the word cacophonous into a band name.
We're Kissing Booth.
No. Our band name is Kissing Booth.
We are
Kissing Booth is great. Sparkalonius and the Bandits was a portion of the recap that I hadn't yet gotten to. I have now thought of Cacophonous Ooze.
That's good.
And Cacophonous Ooze, there's something there.
Still
It's a
fits
level
in the
5
the
spell
sex
that
bomb
Sparkalonius
game,
can't
yeah.
cast yet.
I like that. Gabe in the listen through, write that down.
Easy spell to make. M in the listen through, make that spell.
Okay. Anyhow, we were a band. Our band came into a cluster of abandoned-looking buildings. There was a gnome there. He said, "Hey, talk to us," and so we did. And we went and talked to him, and we told him about our stuff, and he waited for the appropriate episode-ending moment to deliver a pun, and delivered his pun and a signal, and a whole group of hobgoblins has spilled out from the various hiding places amongst these buildings, and have
12.
dropped a pair of logs from behind the wagon, closing off our easiest avenue of escape. I remember what the pun was like.
You be Sparkalonius and we'll be the bandits.
And we'll be the bandits. Yeah.
Honestly, a fantastic
So yeah, you're
pun.
surrounded. You're surrounded, and the gnome asks you what's your business here? Why are you coming this way?
What? We've already. Yeah, I mean we're here to play the mountain.
Got to go to a show,
You can
innit?
repeat. Yeah, well we're here to play the mountain.
Were you invited? Were you booked?
Boston, do you have the ledger?
Uh,
Maybe
okay,
no, we're
everyone's
traveling.
looking at Barson. Okay. Barson jumps down from the wagon and he says, "Great music doesn't need invitations to be played. Show them, guys."
All right, and a 1, and a 2, and a...
And do our rolls from right before count? Because I rolled like a nat 20.
Yeah. I mean, we
Was it
did
good?
a whole show for him. Yeah, did a thing when we were rolling up.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
We got a nat 20 and a 19 from the two least capable, and then Sparkalonius got a 14.
Yeah,
Sparkalonius
we did a
phoning it
play, and
in.
then I thought they jumped us. I thought we were like rolling for initiative. That was.
Are you going to fight them here?
You told us that we were going to
Or
start.
are
the-
we
the-
Yeah,
bluffing
you said
them?
we were
No,
starting
I-
combat. That's why I figured we were
I
starting.
think
combat.
mostly I had sprung the trap. I didn't want to start combat because it didn't seem like that was the way that you guys were gonna go. You were doing sort of a deception thing.
Oh, we're going to play. We're going to prove that we're a band by playing bluffing.
Yeah. I
Got it,
mean,
got
if
it,
we
got it.
want to
That makes
unravel the
sense.
deception right now, that's also fine. We can.
No, I mean it just sounded like we were
Spring
getting
from
jumped
the-
by 13 dudes that jumped out of buildings, so I didn't think we had a time to play them a song because we just got jumped by 13
I mean,
dudes.
if you had
but
been
we have
merchants,
time to
that's
play them a
definitely what
song,
would have
I love
happened.
that.
But you said you're a band and you played pretty good.
Do we have to roll again, or do we get to keep?
M can roll again because I don't remember his number from last time.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, good.
15.
That's pretty solid. Yeah, you guys play a tune.
Yeah, what song do we play?
I don't know if we put a name to it per se, but it's Gib and Haribo laying down sort of a wavering set of harmonics with Sparkalonius and Marjorie doing kind of a jazz improv kind of a thing, squeaking back and forth. Yeah, Sparkalonius riffing on the squeaks. Riffing on the squeaks. There it is. There's the name of the song.
Riffing on the squeaks.
And yeah. I don't think that we get a whole lot of like overwhelming response, but as you're looking, you see a few of the hobgoblins sort of swaying a little bit, and the gnome sitting on his fence post is sort of tapping his toe a little bit, and he says, "Yeah, okay, yeah, we could use a little entertainment." He says, "But we will have to, for everyone's safety, we will have to, we gotta remove your weapons and such. Gotta put them in this box."
Thaddeus says no. I'm security.
sound like
I
a
must
very good
remain
idea.
armed.
It sounds like an easy
I'm
way
but a
for you
simple-
to steal from us. Put all of our stuff in a box, and then you walk away with the box. Nothing to defend ourselves, because it's all in the box. Pretty How about we get a box, and you put your weapons in that box, and then we'll put our weapons in your box.
I mean, persuasion.
All right. We could really potentially get a lot of weapons here. There's many more of them than there are of us. We could get
It's
so
true,
many
and
weapons in
I
a
don't
box.
have. I'm not giving up any weapons because none of them.
I
my
don't have a
weapons are
single
visible, yeah.
weapon that they could possibly find on me. They could frisk me all they wanted.
I don't want them to take my weapon.
So I've got a grand total of, let me remember my character sheet. 22.
Goodness.
Oh.
He says, yeah, all right. Yeah, that doesn't sound super fair. You got me on that one. But I still don't. We can't have you armed in the midst of all of our people. You know, we don't know you either.
I mean, so wait, are you contracting us for a show? Is that what's going on? We've got another show to get to.
I mean, you've got another show to get to that you weren't invited to. I know some people. I don't think I've introduced myself. My name is insert name here.
I believe you said the bandits.
Excellent. The only name that comes to me is Atric, and we've used it already. The name's Jansen, and I know some people up at that mountain. I happen to be a quartermaster of one of our camps. You play a good show for us. I could put in a good word for you with the boss. Maybe get you that invite you need.
All right. Well, then how about we keep our weapons? At least, maybe we leave them all with the security officer over here, and then we'll go get up on stage and rock the house down, as it were. Seems nice and fair, I think.
It seems nice and fair. Yeah. You leave your weapons in the wagon, and we leave the wagon sort of at the edge of the camp, and you come into the camp and you play your thing.
Yeah, and I'll stay with the wagon.
That all makes sense.
Sounds like a fantastic idea. A little warm up
All
before
right,
we
so
get
what's
to the
the
mountain.
pay? You can talk to my manager, Boston, about the pay.
That sounds great. I'll talk to him. We'll
All
talk
right,
while you
everyone,
guys play.
Let's go warm up. No, you shouldn't talk while we play. That's very rude. In between songs, maybe.
Well, contenders do. All right, and then I think they form up in an organized circle around your wagon, and Jansen hops up, sits with Barson to give him directions, and off you go. I think it is perhaps 20 minutes in the wagon further down the road, and then a little bit further down the road, Jansen directs you off a sort of a farm track and leads you to a camp, a fairly well established camp, though. These are tents constructed to last. There are sort of rudimentary barricade walls, at least guarding the access from the road. Like, there are barricades that can be dragged in front of the road to the camp, and it looks to be pretty bustling here. Let's make some checks. Perception, insight, nature, perhaps. Knowledge checks.
Let's see.
while we've got these knowledge checks going on, I think Sparkalonius is going to try and get on the good side of some of the folks that we're moving up into the camp with. Like Sparkalonius go, "Oh, hello, nice to meet you. I'm Sparkalonius. I play the horn, and of course, behind me we've got the rest of the kissing booth. How are you doing? Oh, you're rather tall, aren't you?"
Oh, yeah, yes, I am. I am rather tall.
Is that
One of-
axe vintage?
No, it's postmodernist.
Oh, beautiful. I rolled a 16 on my I guess persuasion check for the crowd work.
Okay. Sparkalonius has a crowd work check. What are the other three doing?
I am perceiving my perception, and I rolled a 21. Well, I didn't roll a
Incredible.
21. I got a 21 because I've got pluses.
All right. Marjorie's scoping things with urchin senses. Haribo Thaddeus.
17 for perception for Thaddeus.
We
Phenomenal.
like to perceive things.
Harbo, I guess, is gonna do I'm gonna do a general insight check, vibe check, to see if I can scope out what kind of music I think that is gonna be the right vibe here.
Perfect.
Good call.
12.
12. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I think the first check that we see this through is going to be Thaddeus. Thaddeus, you got a 17. And I sort of like to look at your checks through your soldier background.
Indeed.
And this camp, while happening, while busy, it does seem organized.
Okay.
You know, the animals have their specific place near food for them. The storehouses and anywhere that is keeping goods is also nearby places where they are making and repairing goods. All of the tents are in neat arcs behind the central campfire. So I think with your perception, you learn that this is a very organized group, and that they are. I think that they are looking to expand. Perhaps is the other thing that you see here is that
Okay.
you see like if this was a regular camp, you wouldn't expect to see perhaps storage of supplies to the degree that you see here. They have a lot of building materials. They're looking to expand, I think.
Right. When I get a moment, I will share that with the group, but I want to let everybody play theirs out.
Certainly. I think Sparkalonius and Marjorie, you guys are next. I think Marjorie, your urchin senses let's see, what do you pick up? It's not like there's a lot of urchin activity here, but there does seem, I think as an urchin you get sort of a read on like an environment kind of when you're in a space, and the read that you get is sort of optimistic, I would say, almost bubbly. There's like it's like activity with purpose, with excitement, like we're all part of something, we're all accomplishing something together here.
Mm-hmm.
and I think that Sparkalonius, your persuasion performance, crowd work, definitely reflects that this is a group that is more willing to interact with strangers than perhaps you would assume from goblinoids. Okay, and so Haribo, sort of the sum up of all of this, the vibe you're seeing is sort of, it's upbeat, it's energetic, and you're seeing, on top of that, you're also seeing a good amount of like war preparations. There are a couple of blacksmiths. There's a guy sharpening a big axe. There are, racks of various weapons and armor. Thaddeus, you might notice that some of this armor looks hastily modified. And so your vibe, I'm sort of thinking, I don't know how to translate this for Haribo, but like,
y'all ever
Fury
heard
Road?
the front lines of the Orcish war music? Oh, all right, okay. Sure, never mind. I'll keep it. Yeah, all right, cool. Arbo goes back to tinkering with his belt.
All right, you guys arrive at the edge of this camp, and Jansen turns around in the front seat, and he looks at you guys. He says, "All right, now's the time. Drop them. I know you guys got to carry weapons. That's a dangerous world out here, but you gotta put them in the wagon so you can come play tunes. I'm really excited for these tunes."
Grace has a question about how my magic works.
Okay.
So I have my scythe, right? But I also but my magic comes from my little totem, right? And that doesn't look like a weapon. I just don't fully understand what where the magic comes from. And I just don't I'm fine giving up the scythe if my magic I can still keep my powers.
Yeah, no, you are basically right on the money. For the most part, your magic itself comes from your deity, but you channel it through the raven skull on a necklace, I believe is what you've got there. So yeah, you could definitely just like wear that.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Then yeah,
Wrap it around your squeeze horn for some sort of spooky
my
effect.
I don't like the name of my instrument. Then yeah, I put my scythe in the bucket because they don't know I have powers.
As a musician, I do not carry weapons on me. All I carry is my synth. And I put my hand above my belt and it goes woo woo, as my synth does.
Is that I love that sound from the synth.
Also, for our point of view, my belt is a bag of holding at the moment, so all of my shit's just in there, so they don't.
Is it? Is that how it functions?
It's one of my four. It's one of my 4 artificer infusions. That changes as I
see.
take rests and stuff. It just depends on what is needed. But bag of holding for travel is needed.
That's so cool.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. I suppose I won't call for a deception check there. It's not. It is a synth, among other things.
Yeah. I'm just I don't have literally anything on me. I'm wearing my overalls, my boots, and I have my belt, I have my synth. It's a synth they don't understand, but it's a synth nonetheless.
I'll say that the not carrying of weapons and also the not carrying of anything except for overalls and a belt is also a little confusing for them. They don't understand that either.
I'm a musician. I've got nothing to hide nor nothing to.
He wants for nothing.
I don't need to. I have security. Thaddeus is security. I've
got
security.
overalls on my
don't
bod
need
and music in
weapons.
my soul, and I don't need nothing else.
And I got the tallest dwarf in the Badlands to whip ass
Doc
if it needs
Martens.
be.
His
My
fantasy
steel-toed Doc Martens to put up an ass if I need them.
And as you can see, I'm translucent.
Yep. There's what do you have in you? There's a pot, and you have your
pebbles. His pebbles.
your needle weapon, or is that a thing that you get
No,
when you come back?
I haven't gotten that yet. He didn't finish it yet.
Okay.
There's a couple of daggers in the pot, but they don't know that.
How? Yeah, all right. I
ain't afraid no
gave the
pot.
dungeon master just doesn't have a great idea of how people are supposed to respond to a jelly person.
I mean, you can pat me down, but
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I've heard tales of oozes, and you're not supposed to touch them no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay, you keep your mystery pot, I suppose. You're right in the middle of camp, so like you can't do that
Just
much
got
trouble.
It's just got my clothes in it.
He needs a change of vests here and there. He can't wear the same vest every day.
What am I going to
alright,
do?
yeah,
Wear a
just a
spoiled vest from yesterday? No.
Pot full of vests.
He's not some dirty beatnik. We are musicians.
So weird.
We're not poets. We are musicians.
Oh, all right. Well, out you get. You stay here, big one.
As a town full of people, they see the tallest dwarf they've ever seen, like with crop top armor. They see goo. They see a person with a scythe and an undead ferret and a guy
no scythe.
Well, I know.
You put the scythe down.
I know, but like that's what they came upon, and then a guy in just a jumpsuit and boots, and that's our group.
I mean, it's only weird, I think, to you, though, like, Grace the player. I think this is a very normal adventuring party, minus the Plasmoid. The Plasmoid is a bit of a standout.
The Plasmoid's a bit weird, and I think I would, as a regular person, I might take a pause at being told that they're not, in fact, an adventuring party, that they're a band, that there are some bards.
Sure.
But you know, bards and adventurers, they look very much alike. So who am I to cast aspersions?
We're just a bunch of normal musicians.
I did have one question. We keep referring to Thaddeus as the tallest dwarf. Thaddeus, where do you keep your height? Is it in your legs or in your torso? Where are you tall?
Or is it somewhere else?
Is it your neck?
Long biceps.
It's his nipples. They're the height of 3 nipples.
How does that help his overall? Nope.
Well, the chest has to compensate. It's not just the nipple, it's the whole chest portion where the nipple is 3 inches taller.
No, he just walks on the nipples.
It sounds like we've lost him again because I feel like he may have had input at some point.
Okay.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Oh,
yes.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
What's up?
So he's more torso than leg, which accentuates his like crop top chainmail armor currently.
Very good.
Like a cartoon character.
And I did not sign on for nipple extensions, just for the record. That was not part of my character backstory.
No one will.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for technical difficulties, or you wind up with character
Exactly.
things you didn't
Triple nips.
choose.
We call them the old trip nips.
All right.
Yeah, Haribo jumps out of the cart. He's excited to play a show.
Yeah. All right. They lead you to the bonfire. Bonfire in the center of camp. Still within sight of uh, Thaddeus in the wagon.
Barson
I'd
in the
say
wagon probably too.
Barson in the wagon also. Actually, Barson has left. Barson is with
Larson has
Jansen.
left.
Oh, Barson split up the party.
Barson's with who?
Barson's with Jansen.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they're hashing out details, and Jansen's also doing official stuff. One of the hobgoblins is has led you guys to the sort of the flat space in front of the fire where people dance or tell stories or perform or whatever.
While we're wandering over, Haribo would like to whisper to Sparkalonius, now realizing that our hands are in Barson's hands, our lives at the moment are I feel confident
Dear
that we
Lord.
can perform, but Barson having to talk to this dude solo, so Haribo's gonna be like, I know he's your manager, but he has not given me the strongest vote of confidence. Are we to trust Boston that he can take care of this alone? Talking to Jansen there?
Don't worry. I hid all of his booze last night before I went to bed. He's bone dry sober right now. That's when Barson's at his most powerful.
All right.
He's gonna get us like 1,000 gold or something stupid like that.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. All right. Good on you. Good
Oh,
on you,
I love
Sparkalonius.
that. Okay. You know what?
I have full
Okay, I'll-
confidence in sober Barson.
Give him a second dice.
I want to perfect. And then I want to nudge the hobgoblin leading us, and I say, "You've heard of Sparkalonius, right?" As we're walking.
Yes, I have.
Not you. The hobgoblin.
Actually, you do look kind of familiar.
Not me. Me.
No, not you.
Oh no, him. That makes sense. I don't look familiar.
Oh,
Yeah, you maybe have seen the flyers. You know, we ship those around everywhere.
I think my bunkmate took one off of a hapless individual we encountered on the road a few weeks back.
Oh yeah, hapless individuals love my shows.
Yeah, we're on the Sundown Showdown tour, part 2, part 1. It's a little confusing.
It's still part 2.
Still part 2? We're on part 2.
Yeah.
No, I think we are on part 1, Sparkalonius. You toured part 2 last year.
Yeah, but we're doing part 2 Redux, because I did part 1 back at the old city, and then I picked up a band,
okay.
everything changes, so now it's part 2
Understood.
but with a band.
Right.
Well, I'm really glad that you
Welcome to
made
part
your way
2.
out here. We don't get a lot of entertainment out this way. Hobgoblins are mostly just good at storytelling, and most of our stories are one note.
Well, we are beginning a little bit of a troupe, I would say. We dabble a little bit in theatrics, not ourselves, but our sister troupe, and ourselves. We are the musical arm.
Is that so?
It is.
There's a real cultural revolution happening out in this way. We should get together some kind of a festival. But anyways, here's your patch of ground. Bye.
I love that we're bringing culture
We'll
everywhere
call
we
it
go.
the Sundowns Festival.
Could I get a bucket or a box perhaps?
Sundowns.
I need a little bit of an ego boost.
Can't you stand on your pot?
All right, fine. And Sparkalonius just stretches his legs just like an extra 4 or 5 inches. I
Oh.
hate doing this, but here we go. All right, everyone, are we ready?
So are they
Anyone need a
skinnier
note?
now? Are they skinnier legs?
Yeah, they're skinnier. They're
Is
skinnier and they
Sparkalonius
wobble a little
himself
bit.
is Sparkalonius himself also skinnier?
Mm-hmm. Yep. All of me gets a little bit skinnier,
Do you still have
except
the
for my
pot
little buff.
inside of
Yep.
you?
Yep. It looks more like a beer belly now as opposed to being concealed.
Do the pebbles move up too when your face gets skinnier?
My face doesn't really stretch; it just gets skinny.
Okay.
So the pebbles kind of protrude a little bit.
Yeah, all of the goo to stretch had to come from somewhere.
And my ass isn't as big right now. Oh wait, I don't have the needle
you
in
don't
me
have-
yet.
you
I
don't
don't
have
have
a
to
booty yet.
I don't have to displace yet. I'll get that booty whenever we come back. That's my quest reward. All right, well, I'm gonna make a performance check. Here I go. And also, who's got the lowest charisma score? I've probably gleaned that by this time in the journey.
Are you talking about like for our performance?
Probably Gib.
Mhm. That tracks.
Probably Gib, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Gib
tracks.
is
So,
a kobold. Let's see.
yeah. Yeah, then Sparkalonius is gonna do he's gonna do a nice tuning note for everybody. He's gonna just do a little, and that's gonna give Gib a motive potential as well as bardic inspiration. So
Yeah, let's talk about
you'll
our
get-
positions on this. Talk to us about our stage. We're performing on a flat ground. This feels like it's something that we could continue. Like we're it sounds like we're going on tour. So our
We're
first
a
show
flat
is on a
ground
flat
band.
ground in front of a campfire. This is like like in GarageBand where you're
This
flipping
is it's
through
a
the
big
places?
bonfire too. Like
Yeah.
it's not we're not campfire. This is a there are roughly 100 individuals perhaps in this camp. So like it's a fairly big fire. And you've got a pretty good crowd. And just out of general interest, this is a new thing that's happening. So you've probably got 25, 30 folks in a loose semicircle. And you've got a big patch of trodden earth to set up on.
We help
And
Gib get
Spark-
set up in the back at least because he has the stationary one, right? I'd imagine.
Sparkalonius stepped to the front and then Slender manned himself.
Yeah. Gib is back like our kind of like where the drum set would be if he were an actual drum set, because he's not moving around too much.
You and Gib need to be near each other, Haribo.
Yeah.
You guys are both sort of the backing track on this.
Yeah.
So there's
Neat.
2 synths and 2 horns.
Basically.
Huh?
And what does
Yeah.
mine sound like again?
A bike horn.
That.
Like
that-
the
that's-
noise that
that's me.
Sparkalonius keeps making is yours.
Oh, I thought that was his horn.
No, his is a normal trumpet.
Now you've got a bike horn that can do a couple of different octaves or something.
Oh man.
Yeah, you've got and and
There, whoever does the sound, those are your notes. You can make
you don't
a
even
little...
need to do that one. Just put me in.
Just put me in. We're gonna put Lawrence on all 4 of these tracks.
Just cut those 6 notes that Lawrence just made and map them to 6 keys on a MIDI keyboard and just see what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And good luck.
Yeah, Haribo is more mobile than Gib. He'll be moving up and down. He has a little, he keeps the energy going because he's just playing with his belt. He's not trying to be weird. He's just being a synth on his belt. So he's kind of like hype man-ish also, moving around, trying to get the crowd going when it makes sense to, not annoyingly.
I like that. I think it's gonna be group performance checks for everyone in the band.
Gib has
Hey.
bardic inspiration with advantage.
Bardic inspiration with advantage.
Yeah, it's a D6, and you can reroll that D6
okay.
and take the highest. That's my College of Creation thing.
Well, that's real good. That's real good. That
And my performance check is really good.
All right.
Harbo got a 10.
Sparkalonius with a 23.
Marjorie
Choice.
got a 14.
Not bad. Not bad.
What did security get? How did you do that? Security, how did you do on your performance check?
He has to look really.
If you want me, all right. 16.
No, I'm just I was
Yeah, you know what,
as performing
gotta
as
think
as
of a B
security.
plot for Thaddeus. What is?
He's with the cart, right?
He is with the
Yeah.
cart.
And they are
With the cart.
bandits.
Thaddeus. I think let's do. I mean, if you're security, let's do like a perception check. You're watching the gear. You're watching the camp. You're keeping an eye out. You could do intimidation if you want.
And all right.
Intimidation or perception.
Let's see. Oh, where did my character sheet go? Let's do a 17 for intimidation. I'll just be
Heck yeah.
standing there with my arms crossed, looking like stay away from our equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you accomplish that goal flawlessly. I think you see a couple of different times some goblins or hobgoblins passing by looking at your cart with some speculative eyes, and you look fierce at them, and they scurry away. Though at least one of them does sort of pause further away and stare at the cart for like a long time before bouncing.
He gives you those squinted eyes where he's like, I'm watching your stuff. Leave it alone.
Yeah,
for
the two of you watch each other for a minute.
Thank you.
More eyes.
See.
He peeks back and you're still making eye
eyeballs.
contact with him.
All right. So as far as this performance goes, I think we got to start with the worst and see if we can make up for it. So Gib rolled a dirty 1.
Oh, Gib. Oh.
He breaks several of the bowls.
But he does get his mode of inspiration. So he gets a total of 7.
Okay.
So he's not.
He only breaks 1.
He doesn't like break his entire instrument and then also set fire to the stage and you somehow.
It's good because the stage is the ground we stand upon.
Oh, yeah.
But I think now it becomes less of a playing with Gib and more of a drowning out Gib.
So
Great
Harbo
songs have started with the sound of glass breaking.
That's true. I think Haribo is panicking the whole time. He's trying to make up for the glass shattering, and then there's like a little bit of a screeching sound because of the like broken glass piece in there. And so Haribo starts trying to like what do you call it, harmonize with that screeching sound with his synth. I think that's a solid 10, which is not a great noise, I imagine, to be harmonizing with.
I do.
But if we can get dissonance going, maybe there's something
I do actually
there.
kind of like that. Like there's like a loud breaking of glass and then sort of a loud screech that then becomes the screech of your synth instead of Gib. It feels like the beginning of like a Metallica song a little bit.
I was feeling heavy metal for this as well, but I don't know where we're going to get with the rest of this.
Uh, yeah, Marjorie. I think for this one, Marjorie, unfortunately, you're just kind of there.
It's
I
like
mean,
real life.
unless you've got ideas, if you want to throw an idea, I can definitely turn it into something for you.
Well, I mean, I rolled a 14, so I think what it sounds like is it's exactly how you imagine it, but slightly better. So like use your imagination that I have this horn and it can only do 3 notes. So it's not going to be good, but you're like, "Oh, but there's kind of something there." But
Every
that's
now
it.
and
It's
then you
just
can like
something.
transition between two of the notes that it's
Yeah,
not like
every once
but
in a
it's like
while I kind of make it work.
I think
But
the key for you, Marjorie, is in the timing. I think that you may only have 3 notes, but you know when to deploy them.
mhm.
And so you're just like jumping in there every now and again to get a few notes off. Yeah, which I think leaves it mostly to Sparkalonius and his glorious 23.
coming in
To
blasting with that solo. Ooh.
to bring it all home for us here.
Yeah, I mean,
Sparkalonius,
go ahead.
I was just gonna cue you up. What do you got?
Sweet. So Sparkalonius, of course, he's stretched, he's tall, and he is sort of shrinking his limbs back inside of himself, back and forth. And whenever the limbs appear, they are casting prestidigitation up in the air to make fireworks, to spell out kissing booth, to sort of accent the particularly discordant notes that become melody at the end. Sparkalonius is just soloing up a storm, and then in between Sparkalonius's solos, there's bits of synth that comes in to cover up Gib. There's a little bit of and a little bit of and it's just he's killing it. He's going all over the place. He's the light show. He's the front man. He's very tall.
And I bet he looks great with all the firelight coming through him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If we're in between the semicircle and the bonfire, that's just classic Sparkalonius. He always performs with torches behind him.
Ooh, can Harbo add something to this moment while we're starting to kick ass with our song?
Yeah, music is collaborative.
Harbo, he's doing his he's pumping his arms in and out to synth, and then on an in he pulls he created like a light ball a little while ago to produce light, and he pulls it out in that same motion and just rolls it under Sparkalonius so that when it lights up it hits underneath that water effect, and shoots. I feel like vaguely like disco ball-ish, except it's not as direct.
I like that. That's neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, this is quite the spectacle that we have dreamed up for these hobgoblins, and they've never seen anything like this. They are,
No one has.
I would say, there's a collective sort of drawing back. The first time that we do like prestidigitation or any of this sort of light show stuff, I think that there is sort of an awareness of and also a mistrust of magic. However, this magic isn't hurting anybody. It is just moving to the beat of this music, this show, and as the performance goes on, they're getting more and more into it. And sort of by the crescendo, by the time we hit Sparkalonius's sort of where it's just synth and Sparkalonius doing like a solo. You see small knots of hobgoblins doing some sort of a circular dance among themselves.
Good job, team.
Yeah, good job, team. Yeah, you guys finish out the song, and there's much hooting and cheering and throwing of meat on sticks. Um,
Like towards us, like
yeah,
as
towards you. Woo, hooray.
Sparkalonius catches as many of those as he can in his body.
Nice. It's a good number of them. Some of them go in the fire. Some of them land amongst you guys. Gib is definitely scrambling around on the ground trying to.
Oh yeah,
gather up,
Haribo's catching and like eating meat. He like catches and bites and then throws it back into the fire and catches another one.
Marjorie says, "No thanks, I've got some," and grabs some from within her cloak.
Old meat she pulls out from her satchel.
okay.
Just reheat it real quick on the fire back here.
In my defense, I thought this was like dried meat.
It was, but we are traveling in open air, and dried meat does not actually last in the heat, and in the you have to still keep it.
I didn't know it was like hot. Okay, whatever. Fine. Yes, I'm still eating my meat, but I am dipping it in the sauce that I have. Because the sauce is probably still fine.
It was more of a joke of the age of dried meat, but anyway.
Okay. I think what ensues here is
you got that sauce left over. Oh man, dipping it in Marjorie's sauce jars. Party up in here.
there's an opportunity here. We can continue playing music. We can continue performing, or we can say that we have sort of concluded the performance and sort of do some social interactions if we want to talk to Jansen, if we want to explore camp a little bit, maybe make connections, if we want to see if we can bail and move on, gather information. I think we have an evening here, and at some point the only required thing is to sort of talk to Jansen about what comes next as far as us as a band.
Yeah, why don't we get a moment like breaking down and loading the cart back up with like band supplies before we're like partying, like the sort of post, got to put away your guitars and drums and shit,
Let him know how well we did.
That way we can figure out how to approach. Wow, guys, that was a fantastic show. We did not start off the best. I Gib and the Broken Bowl, but we certainly made it work. That happens, Gib. That happens. It is a finicky instrument that I have made for you.
I thought you did great, Gib.
Yeah, fantastic.
Really brought the house down. If there was a house to bring down, you
would
would have brought it down.
It's like you guys told me. No matter what happens, just keep playing, keep hitting the instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Keep hitting it.
And you did it.
That's how you learn.
3 to 5 notes and you have killed it. We still don't have the number on how many notes you have, but you can definitely play those 3 to 5 notes.
Thank you. I just, just pressed them. I didn't know what it's the only option. Every once in a while I got it right.
Yeah.
Press and squeeze. That's the trick.
So are we
Yeah,
are we gonna
what do they
continue
want
this
from us?
ruse, or do we dip now?
I mean, we could at
Wait.
least find out who their friends are, I suppose. Who they potentially are inviting us to. Sort of ruins the whole surprise factor, but it's just a different kind of surprise. Delayed surprise.
I mean, if
Perhaps.
Jansen is the quartermaster, did he say he knows the quartermaster?
He says
think
he
said
knows.
he is? I don't know.
Jansen said that he was the quartermaster of this camp.
Oh, well,
Sparkle
this
Lady
is-
is right again.
Well, he might
Or
have some
is,
say.
yeah.
Maybe he can get us in the door as we've gotten in here, right? We were allowed to play here in front of the bonfire. If we can get in the door in the mountain, maybe that'll give us a lay of the land before we figure out how to do what we need to do and rescue these. Do what we need to do and play the right show. I look around to make sure no one's listening.
No one's listening. Okay, so it sounds like it would be a good idea to talk to Jansen just about logistics, just about where we're going, when we're going, if we're going, all that. And I suppose if any of you want to sort of try and gather information from people who might not be as suspicious of your gathering of information as Jansen might be, could be wise.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we should most definitely, attend the gathering they are setting up over there this evening. Maybe play a solo song here or there, keep the ruse going, see what we can finagle from them, maybe about their forces or the layout of the mountain. Any information really might be helpful.
Yep, good idea.
All right.
Did you say, well, if we're doing solo performances, we should make sure that we're split up in a way that should there be a solo performance, it won't bomb based on our
Yeah.
performance checks?
Sure. I more just mean to maintain the ruse of musician throughout the night, right? Like, I have often seen, Gludamus when he is partying in the bar here or there to rip out the lute and play a song when he is enjoying himself, just
Yeah,
more to maintain the
I'm going
ruse.
I'm going to keep a hold of my horn in one hand, and I'm going to keep a hold of Gib in the other hand. Come along,
what?
Gib. I need backup. I need backup. We gotta go find Barson, and of course,
you need it from me?
yes, of course.
Gib, I know we do not live here, but please do not, please don't cause a trouble here. This would be a rough one. This would be a rough one, Gib.
Yeah, they'd kill you, Gib, probably.
There's no getting out of this one.
And then
Yeah.
they probably kill us.
Gib shoots a look to you, Marjorie.
Yeah, I think I agree with Harbo. I think we should lay low. We should keep.
Oh no, this was like a discreet look. This was like a hey.
And she's openingly saying, "Don't."
No, that's just why I was cutting in. Yeah, he rolled a 21 on his stealth to sort of keep his affiliations sort of mum there. But he's looking to you for permission, Marjorie.
I subtly nod my head and like he's right, listen to him. We gotta lay low.
All right. I won't steal anything that doesn't look too tempting.
Well, if you're with Sparkalonius, check in with him first, and then maybe you'll see.
I make a
Maybe
great hiding
we'll
spot.
see. I think we'll make a great team then.
Hey, you can hide inside my cauldron if you need to.
Can he fit in the pot?
I'm pretty sure he can't. At least not with everything else that's in that pot.
Just dump it out.
Yeah, that's true. I think we could cram Gib into that pot. If it was...
All right. Harbo's gonna go find a drink.
Move. Hey, Gib, how long can you hold your breath?
Oh, God.
No, I can send him a tube. I just think that's so funny.
I mean, crocodiles can hold their breath for a really long time.
How did Gib become a crocodile?
Isn't he some sort of, is he a lizard?
You imagine a caiman, that doesn't mean that. Yeah. So he's a crocodiles lizard. Definitely can hold their breath for up to an hour in D&D actually, but he's not crocodile.
So can Sparkalonius.
Oh, crocodiles are in D&D?
Yeah, there's crocodiles in D&D. There's all the regular animals.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I didn't know that. I thought it was just
they're usually bigger. Oftentimes the beasts and things come at a larger size.
Oh, that's neat.
We just haven't really run into them. Yeah, no giant crocodiles, no giant insects. I keep thinking about it as I watch my nature documentary. It's like, how could I make this bigger and horrible for the players to run into? At some point, I'm going to put in a giant velvet worm, and then we're going to have a party.
No.
Nar.
Okay. So Sparkonius and Gib are gonna socialize and also noodle around on their respective instruments.
Yeah, I think I want to go and try and like grab a seat around the campfire, just sort of schmooze the local populace.
Yeah,
Easy.
Harbo is gonna dip from the wagon and his crew and go look for a few hobgoblins with some drinks. See if he can get his hands on a drink to share with some of these folks.
Excellent, excellent. Marjorie Thaddeus.
Thaddeus is going to stay with the cart to protect their
Can't.
gear and to be ready at a moment's notice if he needs to bring forth equipment to his party members.
Thaddeus is just not letting his guard down. All right.
He's security.
Marjorie,
I have a clarifying question.
please.
When you were first describing the encampment, you said there wasn't really opportunities for urchdom. So there's no
Are
way.
you
no place...
sure?
No, I'm saying so. Like, there's no like. I would if I'm just wanting to like generally observe the. Like, I don't have a specific place I want to go. I kind of just want to people watch and just see what I see. Is that it? Would that be because of how the campment is? That would be like overly suspicious. There's not enough crowds to just kind of meander.
I mean, you can always like go to the end of a circle, and sort of lean up against a post. It's always an edge of
Yeah, I
a
mean,
room.
you can't like. There's no dark corner to hide behind and like peek out at everybody.
No, I'm not thinking hiding. I'm just like, maybe I pull over and I'm like journaling, but I'm not really journaling. I'm like kind of just looking at people, but it looks like I'm just sitting in the sun journaling or sitting in the trees because we're in the shade of the trees or wherever we are.
Yeah, I think
Because I think you can learn a lot about a place just by watching.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's
definitely
sort
a
of
Marjorie way to do it too.
The thrust of an insight check. I think you perhaps pick up a mug of whatever is being passed around, and then you post up at a less crowded, corner of camp with your journal ? Maybe you're sketching the scene around the fire while you're observing the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke. Let's see then. Where do we want to start? I think we want to start with a brief break, and then we'll be right back once I've had my think.
Yeah, party time.
Be right back with these messages.
Good show, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Killed it.
We did way better in that performance than I ever thought.
Sparkalonius can really be distracting if he needs to be.
I may have come in ready to beat ass, but not having to beat every ass from here to the mountain will actually.
Yeah, 100 asses is a lot of asses.
Also, that's true. We wouldn't be very good at surprising.
We couldn't surprise literally anyone else after the first ass beat, so well, it'd be harder to, right? Unless we beat every ass in the circle, then we could we could do the same thing next time, but only
Yeah, that would take a very long time.
We don't have a good track record with no one getting away, so.
Mm-hmm.
They either get away or we adopt them.
Kidnap them.
They either get away immediately or they'll never be allowed to leave.
Even they
I'll
die.
adopt that. I'll adopt that little gray guy if I get the chance.
It's on. We don't know, but it's on Lawrence's Legend Keeper. It's adopt the little gray guy. He's looking for him. Personal goal.
Step 1, find that little gray guy. Step 2, adopt that little gray guy.
Another thing that I would like to bring back up, we stopped doing it because I really liked the one I was on, but I've been thinking lately that it hasn't happened, and it could be time for a refresher. That doesn't mean I'll never get it again. But of the like missions, the like by session missions.
I forgot my mission.
Yeah, I was enjoying those, but I think after this point, it's kind of I'm ready for a new one. I could switch it up. I liked looking for a named weapon, but I was, hunting one sort of random encounter too much rather than just enjoying a random mission.
Yeah, I agree. Those are fun.
Super here for that, and we can definitely reissue some player goals to whoever would like them and or has forgotten them. Quick question for Lawrence.
Sure.
Do I recall you mentioning whether/which bottle of absinthe was okay for consumption?
The one that doesn't have the artist on it.
One that doesn't have the artist on
Yeah, it's the one that's almost empty. If you want a little bit of the other one, no worries. Just don't take my last drink. I don't drink so often. It's gonna last me forever.
Yeah, I
I'm the
drank
same way.
one of the absinthes. Incredible. I have half of it left. I'm waiting until I have proper sugar because I didn't have a sugar cube. I had like turbinado sugar.
Is this absinthe like how I'm always imagining absinthe?
Probably not.
No, because that is not. Well, how are you imagining absinthe? I don't want to say no. 'Cause
Like, isn't it called like the green fairy because it makes you see things? Like,
Okay, yeah, no, definitely not. That's
Yeah, it doesn't actually make you hallucinate. It just got that rap because people were just drinking it straight when it first got invented, and it's like.
And also, they put some wild shit in it when it was first invented.
Yeah,
neither of these seem to have an artist on them.
Yeah, healthy mix of no one knowing how to make alcohol, attempting to make alcohol, people drinking straight alcohol that they should be diluting because it is meant to be diluted, and also the Catholic Church of the time trying to double down on getting people to drink only in the way that they wanted them to drink. And so absinthe got
they just put opium in stuff.
Excessively bad rap. Yeah, exactly. There was no
Yum.
control over how things were made. So no, it just was bad, but
what do you mean this wormwood is rotten? It's gonna go great in my drink.
Lawrence, neither of them have an artist on them.
This one has almost none left.
That's the one then.
oh.
Way too
That's
much
the one to not drink,
Safe
right?
for consumption. What else would you
drink
use it for?
Don't drink if it would finish it.
Okay, there you go. Exactly, yeah. Well, I have to put that because everyone thinks
I want to finish it.
Safe for my consumption, not yours.
Like, is the other one just like for the aesthetic? Which I respect.
It's for medicine.
For medicine.
You can apply but not consume.
Yeah, so absinthe. It is green.
It looks like Mountain Dew.
Definitely can be.
And I've got some cherry lime Sprite.
Oh, I love the winter cranberry.
And
that sounded really good,
December.
and I never got to try it.
It was good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was good.
It's very good also if you're making like a dirty Shirley or a with them because it adds more flavor. Is that a good or a?
It's a the color of the beverage.
That's how you make brown absinthe.
Even whenever you dilute absinthe, it's just sort of like, cloudy guy, huh?
Mm-hmm. Murky, aren't you?
If this was water, I wouldn't drink it.
It's weird. It's weird that a clear liquid becomes so murky when you mix it with stuff.
Yeah, if it don't do that, that's bad absinthe.
Oh boy.
I bet it tastes very strong of alcohol.
No, not really.
Oh,
Yeah, absinthe is sneaky that way. That's why people were hallucinating.
It doesn't hit hard, though it does sort of warm and tighten the skin on your face just immediately. If you don't like the flavor of licorice, you're not gonna have a good time.
oh, yeah, I'm
I
okay.
don't like
I
the
like my
flavor of
licorice.
licorice, but I freaking love green absinthe. Very different. Not super different in flavor, but they hit differently. I hate licorice, but green absinthe is fire.
I hate licorice,
there's a-
but ice cold Jägermeister with crushed ice in it is the bomb.
There's a red absinthe that I've had that tasted like big red gum. It was delicious.
I would love to try red absinthe is one I've not tried that I would very much like to.
They liked it on the Irish dry.
Okay.
That face doesn't look like you're having a pleasant experience,
That's
which I
what
know
I'm
is not a
saying.
big deal on an
It's
audio
all-
podcast, but for
here's
those
the
of
thing
us who
is that
can
like
see it,
it's I can turn my camera off. I was just so proud of myself for having rediscovered the face following effect.
I like the
Um,
face following. It's great.
It's pretty
But-
fun.
It makes it hard to believe you when you say that you enjoy the absinthe and then you make that face when you drink it.
agreed.
I make that face when I consume any chemical. It's fine. Let's see. But I now have to do some thinking.
Now that I've got my thinking beverage, off to thinking.
He's gonna
That's
go.
not really my thinking beverage. That's more like my improv beverage.
Give me the strength for improv.
Make me lubricated enough to jump from one thing to another and strong enough to commit to whatever bit I jump to.
If you don't love me at my first thought, then you don't deserve me at my best thought.
On a timetable, looks like we've got an hour left till 9, which is I do work tonight. So we've got
So you're
plenty.
trying to get out
No, I'm saying
earlier,
like
or
I'm saying like we have an hour, like in terms of our adventure.
yeah, we're just cooking
stopping
along.
point.
Now we're partying. Again, we've partied a lot in
Yeah.
the past few episodes.
Well, this party likes to party.
We have a bard on the team, so it does sort of lend itself to that.
You made me one absinthe as well, so I poured just a little.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
That's a fun cup.
Yeah, Lawrence got us this cup, this absinthe, and then I put the spoon away because I already finished it, but the like spoon to go on top so you can do it just right.
Slotted spoon.
Slotted spoon.
Do you still have mine?
I did
Who,
not
me?
take yours.
Hmm.
I have
Ooh.
Maybe.
some
I
of
think
your
Quint-
stuff
I
from
think
the
Quentin
wedding
has
for
yours.
sure.
Quentin probably does have mine. That would make
But
sense.
I didn't take your absinthe, unfortunately.
Quentin winds up with all my alcohol.
You wound up with the Malort too,
Somehow.
which I was
That was too
excited to
bad.
take. Yeah, it's okay. Harder for him to get anyway.
Yeah, I can just go across the street and get another bottle if I want it.
Jeez.
While we have a moment here, whoever wants to re-up on player goals, give me those two numbers I love so much.
I would love. Is that 2d10s?
Yes, indeed.
That's gonna be a 10 and a 5, or a 0 and a 5. No, it's a 10 and a 5.
I have a 9 and a 5.
No, it would have to be 0 and 5. 10 and 5 isn't a thing on 2d10s. It has to be 0 and 5.
0 and 5. Be adjacent to at least 3 enemies at once.
Done. Done. Success. Give me new player goal, please.
They aren't your enemies yet.
Damn.
Got him.
Haribo want new player goal, please. Just kidding.
Make them into energies real quick.
It's true. You don't have to win. You don't have to win the fight.
The moment it starts, I win my player goal, but lose everything else.
Marjorie, gamble over half your loot.
I don't like gambling.
I don't know. You might win.
But
because here's what I'll say is that you're gambling against me, and I'm not very good at gambling.
Gambling is luck.
It's supposed to be weighed in the favor of the house.
Right, but we're also playing a game right now where you can't control the deck. It's like a roll of a dice, right?
Basically. I think it depends. Like, if I knew more gambling games, I might be able to...
I mean, you could
stack
do
the
it
deck
with
in my
like a
favor.
high-low roll, but like change high-low to like 11 to, 11 and down to like stack it towards the house or whatever. If you ever wanted, to like make it easy, but not, super intense. That's actually an interesting thing. Do you guys have player goals still, Sparkalonius and Thaddeus?
Yeah, 6 and 10 from Thaddeus.
You know what? I think I would like a new one.
What was your old one?
Yeah, well, I think it's on my old character sheet that got deleted, so...
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh, one away. I got 6 and 8.
Damn. So close.
I think we know what 69 is, actually.
Yeah, we've gotten it, I think.
6 and 10 is 2 crits in a row.
Oh, all right. Challenge accepted.
6 and 8. 6 and 8 is start a new hobby.
Sparkalonius turns to the guy on his left.
So anyway, I was thinking about taking up whittling. You guys got anything I could whittle with?
Isn't
No?
Barson your whittler?
Alright. Yeah, I'm going to take it from Boston. Reclaiming my independence.
Yeah, you don't have like a knife?
No, I had to leave that in the wagon.
Oh. Well, that makes sense, but whittling's not that hard. Here, look.
He gives me the knife and I stab him with it.
Oh no!
I don't do that. I don't do that.
I also win my character goal at that moment.
He picks up a chunk of wood off the ground, and he makes a few different notches and cuts in it, and lo and behold, there's like a rudimentary face sort of emerging out of the end of this wood.
Oh, that's great. Who
Yeah, it's that easy.
Whose face is that?
Not sure yet. You gotta add more detail before you figure out who it is.
I'm learning so much.
Yeah, you sort of let it emerge from the wood, you know? Okay.
He's watching. He's consuming the whittling. He's learning.
Is he
A
just
new
gonna
hobby.
And then
comes
later
into
I
him.
will consume the whittling.
Okay. I think first, okay. Thaddeus, you're hanging out at the wagon, keeping an eye on all the stuff.
Yes, indeed.
I think you do attract a small knot of like goblins and hobgoblins coming to the head of
Okay.
the wagon to like ask you questions about life on the road.
Okay.
Um, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Oh dear. All right. Let's see. Oh, with disadvantage, it's a nat 1.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. Okay. Then I think Thaddeus, you are the word has abandoned me. You are pleased to receive this attention. You were not expecting to receive questions or praise as
Hmm.
part of this performance ruse that you guys put up. But here you are, and they want to know what it's like being the hired muscle for um, such talented folks. Marjorie, you're watching the fire, and you're like sketching the scene, and as you cast your eyes around the camp, you see Thaddeus with his knot of question askers. And how about you give me a perception check? In fact, you can give me a perception check with advantage since that's the entire thing that you're doing.
Oh heck yeah.
Watching.
Listen, I like to watch. Okay, what are my pluses for
Voyeuring.
perception? Oh, sorry. I wish I hadn't said that. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. With the dirty 20, you see a few things. Um, you see Jansen drawing something in the dirt with Barson and Haribo sort of standing and watching. You see a group of hobgoblins sort of on the other side of the fire. Sort of, it looks like they're reenacting the band performance. They're like trying to figure out what instruments can be constructed from what they have around in the camp. They've definitely got percussion worked out, but they're trying to figure out anything else. And you also see, while Thaddeus is answering questions, you see a figure in a robe, sort of hup themselves up over the side of the wagon and down into it, out of sight.
How far away am I from them?
60 feet, 80 feet, somewhere in there. The wagon is over by the entrance to the camp, and you are almost dead center in the camp, off to one side of the fire.
Okay. Then I'm gonna quickly scoot over to where Barson or where Jansen
Jansen.
and Haribo are standing, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, your people are trying to rob us. Trying to hop into our cart and steal our stuff. Is there anything you can do about that? Make them stop, please." To
Okay.
Jansen. Isn't he in charge?
Jansen, is this true? I look up from whatever he was drawing in the sand. What is he drawing in the sand?
Yeah, we hadn't gotten to that scene yet.
Oh, sorry.
No, that I mean that's
No, I was just gonna cut it off there and go back and start over from the other perspective.
perfect.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah. Haribo, you've expressed some misgivings about leaving everything in the hands of Barson, despite his sobriety. And so once the show's over, you do want to go and just check in and see,
I mean,
not what the Wheels of Power are up to.
I can.
Maybe.
I can. I expressed that. It was told me it was good, so I was going to find a drink. I wasn't I was going to be social. Yeah. I'm not I don't mind talking to Jansen though. I'm down. I'm just I do.
Well, since I have already
I do
described
trust
it.
Barson. I don't care, but
Okay, well, we can cut that bit.
Leave that
you pick
in.
up a drink. You pick up a drink, and picking up a drink has you near enough to Jansen and Barson then to sort of pick up that that Jansen is sort of describing their the setup of the camp and sort of the logistics of the camp in like the whole of all of the hobgoblin stuff. And you at least pause for long enough to, because he's drawing in the dirt, and you pause and you see that he's sort of drawing a rudimentary map. There is the mountain in the east, and then a series of X's in a rough semicircle around the mountain to the west. And he's talking about these are our camps. We're expanding to out to the west.
where what is west from here? Just so we know for is that Decrum? That towards
Decrum is west from where you guys are at. Between Decrum and here is some flat ground and then the forest.
Cool. Just to make sure I know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's talking about how wars of conquest are great, but their leader has a plan to sort of expand in a more measured sort of settlement style expansion rather than trying to take a bunch of territory and then worry about claiming it or keeping it. And he's talking to Barson about the best route in. I think he says you can either try and hit a couple more camps on your way in, build a repartee, or you can follow this road, and he points at a different one that goes straight into the mountain. You'll have to persuade the mountain guards that you've got business there. I'll definitely give you my my note of insurance, but we'll see. You'll have to see how much good my name alone is there. It'll do you some good. Certainly.
And Haribo comes up to the conversation and he says, and pass up an opportunity to get our name out there. Absolutely not. If your name might not get us up the mountain pass, might you send along word to the next camp that we could be coming and maybe play for them, and we can continue our journey right up the road through your friends' camps and up to the mountain. play everyone. Everyone deserves to hear our sound.
I can do you one better. I can send a member of our camp along with you to announce your presence, and to vouch for you among the other camps.
A herald. I would love a herald. I mean, if anything we're missing, it's a hype man. Are you looking up a stat block for a hype man?
No, I wanted to see if there was a table of like goblin names that was easy to find, because I don't like making them up, but
Timothy.
I didn't see one.
Let's have another woman.
Hmm?
All the names.
Chandra.
Yeah, Chandra.
Chandra.
With a K or with a C? Or Q.
Sounds like a K.
Chandra.
Chandra with a K.
Trying to remember all the names from the substitute teacher bit Key and Peele did. My favorite way to name NPCs.
Aaron.
Aaron.
Wow. I really did think that they were going to have like something, but guess not.
Chandra. We have
Chandra.
something.
And I think Barson is saying something along the lines of, well, if we've got the route figured out, then let's get around to the meat and potatoes of negotiating our fee. And then
Dang.
Marjorie sidles on up and says, someone is attempting to rob our cart. Please do something about it.
Whoa, Jansen, is this true?
I mean, I've been here with you. I'll be very disappointed in the camp if it turns out to be true. Only one way to find out, I suppose. And he snaps his fingers, and 3 hobgoblins who were hanging out in the background of the shot straighten up and follow Jansen to the cart. And when they see this group approaching the cart, all of the various hangers-on and question askers sort of retreat a few paces away from Thaddeus. Thaddeus, what have you told these people?
It's nothing too far from the truth, because it's basically the same, that I'm the muscle that protects my flamboyant friends who are performers. And, it's a rough gig because they're the artsy types and I'm the one who has to do all the hard work.
Nice. I think they're suitably impressed. Some of the young bucks are asking for an arm wrestling match with the protector of the band. But they all sort of scamper back when this group shows up. And Jansen says, "I've just been given a disturbing report that items are being stolen from your wagon.
What?
Right beneath your very nose, it would seem. So let's see what we got."
Yeah, Marjorie, why don't you tell us what you saw?
I saw someone in a cloaked individual, hop into the back of the wagon from over there, and I pointed to where it's a very clear line of sight from where I had been drawing.
Is there?
Thaddeus would want to jump up into the wagon and look.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious once you look that there is someone in the wagon trying to disguise themselves as a bundle of trade goods or something.
Hey, you're not a barrel.
They should have been if they were a sleeping pile of blankets, we never would have found them.
We would have
That's
never
right.
seen them for a
That's
whole
right.
episode at least.
And so I suppose Thaddeus, you whip the cloak back to
Yes.
reveal a hobgoblin. And I think most of these hobgoblins are kitted out for like physical combat. They've either got bows slung over their shoulders, or they've got cruel hooked swords at their belts. This one seems more. They've got like a belt with pouches of something, different pouches on their belt. They've got like a sash with various little totem things. I've lost the name that we thought of. Just
Candra?
Candra. And Jansen looks in and he says, "Candra, what are you doing in the wagon?" And he turns to Haribo, and he says, "I'm so sorry about this. I don't. This is our warcaster, Candra. What are you doing in this wagon?"
I would like
Candra,
an answer, Candra.
Candra says, "I'm tired of conquest. I want to see the world. I want to explore. They make such great music. Imagine the places this music might take them." And Jansen says, "Candra, you are a member of this family. You are a member of this tribe. What have we said about getting into strange wagons?"
Don't.
Candra says, "Don't get into strange wagons. Only
How
get in
old
the
is-
tribe wagons."
How
Unless we're
old does
killing you.
Kendra look? Okay, fair enough.
Are there
18.
familial features between her and Jansen?
No, Jansen's
Okay.
a gnome.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Jansen's a gnome. It's mostly goblins and hobgoblins in this camp. I think a couple of more brigandly looking humans.
Candra is a
salt and
goblin?
peppered around. Candra is a hobgoblin. Yes.
Hobgoblin. Okay, hobgoblin. Okay.
You know, we can play this off to Jansen. This is totally out of character, that we're used to groupies, and this is not any big concern for her. And if she would like to stay and meet the group, we can arrange that and diffuse whatever seems to be occurring here. But that's not really a Thaddeus pitch. That's
I got you.
that's a Michael as a player pitching it to our hype man Haribo.
I like that. All right, cool. Haribo says, now, Jansen, it's totally fine. We have traveled quite a ways. When I met Sparkalonius the first time, I myself jumped on as a groupie as well, and now I find myself here. We have traveled far and wide, and she is right. We do see a lot. This is not the first time. Come on out here. He said your name was Candra. Feel free to meet us. We are not I don't know what the word is, unapproachable. Or charismatic.
She sort of sheepishly climbs down from the wagon. she says, "All right, I just wanted to see the world, you know." Sparklonius, where are you at? You and Gib.
We're still over by the fire. I mean, if there's a commotion, we've probably wandered over hand in hand.
Yucks.
Come on,
Yeah.
Gib.
You did mention that we needed some form of herald. If Kandra's trying to get out and see the world, why not kill two birds, one stone? Could have Kandra herald for us.
Yeah,
Oh, Sparkalonius, this is our lead man.
I'd love to have a herald. But you said your name is Kandra? Oh, you mean herald like the position. Yes. So
She can be our Kandra.
yeah, our Kandra to announce our arrival.
Mhm.
No need to. It seems that you were trying to sneak your way in the cart. That's all right, but there's not quite enough room in the cart for everyone. Honestly, do you not? Aren't we going to camps that are affiliated with your group? I mean, I'm all for going out and seeing the world, but we're just going. I think we might be seeing. It might be some time before we go and see the world.
We are currently entering into your world.
And
Yeah,
we're
the
going to
world
be spending
we're
some
seeing
time in
is-
here. It seems like.
The world we're seeing is in here. Okay.
But damn, after that, the world's your oyster, or our oyster, and you
want
can
us
join
to
us.
swing by and pick you up after, or?
Let's adopt another character.
Jansen steps in here and he says that would not be acceptable.
Okay. It's not my
Strict
idea.
rules. All goblins are of one family and gotta stay together.
Yeah, but she's a hobgoblin.
Oh.
I mean, say the second two syllables of that word for me, real quick for me. Yeah.
Hob.
Are they not different? They're this is an imp thing. They seem different. They're different, like hugely different.
One goblin, one family. I'm not
Ohana,
gonna.
okay?
Yeah, Ohana,
Cool.
Ohana
Okay.
means goblin.
and goblin means goblin.
Yeah, man, we have goblins in our family too. The plasmoid, I'm a halfling, we got a human. We're all the exact same person in the same race. I understand entirely.
Good. However, our leader has said that it is important for our magicians to be well-rounded. Kandra, if you think you can pick up a thing or two, we all saw they was using magics during their performance. If you think there's something you can learn, if you think you can help them out while they're in our camps, keep them out of trouble. You think you're up to that? And Kandra doesn't say anything, but she just nods a lot.
Oh, you're saying that she can't like leave with us forever, but while we're traveling camp to mountain.
Yeah, she free travel within our world.
Oh, sure.
But,
Yeah,
you
Kandra.
know, if you
you're
want to
more-
go farther, we got to make the world bigger.
That's a big, mighty big world out there already. No doubt.
Plenty of room, plenty of camps to travel around in.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Kandra, you've got the job. And Kandra, who wants to make an insight check on how Kandra's feeling about this?
I think
17.
I shall. 17.
Yes.
I rolled an 18.
17, 18. This is what she wanted. This is not how she wanted to get it.
We can talk on the road.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think the rest of the evening is a party, is, perhaps indulging in some goblin culture. Haribo, you're somewhat familiar with this, but this is,
I would
many
like to.
more.
Many more?
I mean, it's many more individuals in the camp. It's sort of a much more rigid, a little bit, and just like structured goblin society than perhaps you saw amongst the tribe that you are more familiar with.
Yeah, I want to see if I can use this moment because Haribo's gonna nurse this one drink all evening. He wants to be a part of the party socially, but he is not interested in having another hangover for a little bit. Even though most of it was exhaustion, he also still did drink a bit with Gib.
Self-imposed.
I mean, I know that you say that, but if you stayed up all night, like no one else is going to tell you that you're not exhausted. Like yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Never mind. I don't have anything. Lost it.
Is the plan to I guess we have to make sure that Barson checks in with our pay or fee. But it's the plan in the morning to go to the next camp and just kind of
Yeah, we need to keep moving towards the mountain is our overall goal, is to keep making progress.
That makes sense. I mean, the fastest way is definitely to just head straight towards the mountain. But it sounds like the way we're going to go is we're going to hit a couple more camps at least on our way in.
kind of extend this ruse as long as we can.
Impromptu tour.
Yeah, Sparkalonius and Barson are suddenly, unexpectedly in their element.
Right.
We're going to make so much money because there's no bar for Boston to spend it at.
That is true. What is our
R-
pay?
Raw profit.
I think our pay is probably a small to moderate amount of money, some sort of a proof of
Proof of passage.
yeah, proof of passage, something from Jansen that says we're cool.
He gave us a pop.
You got your the back of your hand stamped or whatever. And then also filling in of our map where the surrounding camps are at.
Nice.
Like it. Like it.
Yeah. I think as far as the pay goes, each of you would take like 5 gold.
Nice.
Even Gib gets 5 gold.
That's a fortune for Gib.
It is a fortune for Gib. He is excited. He's never had gold for himself ever.
Does that include security? Do we get paid as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I think you guys made enough for each member of the group to get 5 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, except for Barson.
Huge. Sparkalonius and Barson split their cups. Barson can have 2 gold.
Okay. Anything else we want to do during this evening of partying?
Nothing is coming to my mind right away. I don't know about anybody else.
The only thing is we would want to set up some sort of watch over the wagon. Either that or Thaddeus will stay up all night and watch the wagon, but then he's going to sleep while we're on the road.
No, you stayed up last time. Harbo can stay up and it's fine.
I don't even know if Sparklonius would even want to stay here for the night.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sparklonius, as if no one else has anything to do, I think as the night is winding down, Sparklonius might, sort of get up on the wagon and just say, "All right, everyone."
Nope.
Oh, it's really zooming in on Gabe's.
Yeah.
His trinkets.
It couldn't find Gabe, so it zoomed straight in on the shelf in the background. That's so funny.
There it goes.
It zoomed out and then zoomed back in. That's great. It's like it knew I was joking. Yeah, Sparklonius will hop up on the wagon with Gib on his shoulders. And Sparklonius is going to say to the crowd, "All right, everyone, you've been a great audience. And so great, we're even taking one of you with us. But a tour is usually in a circle, so we'll be back around, a week or whatever. We'll see how long the tour takes. But we'll be back for another show, and we'll have some new songs ready for you. But we've got to get going so we can get towards that next gig, everyone. We've been the Kissing Booth."
General applause. Jansen's like, "You sure you don't want to come with us? You don't want to stay here? Safety in numbers,
We've got some number of people.
Yeah, we've got to get on the road. Got a number of
Can't argue
camps.
with that, I suppose.
Driving through the night has its perks.
I can't think of a single one, but okay.
When you wake up, you're somewhere else.
There it is. Fair enough. Kendra, I thought that they were going to stay with us, but I suppose they want to camp to themselves. Yeah, I guess you go with them. And Kendra almost skips into your wagon.
Welcome to the team.
Yeah.
So Kendra, do you play any instruments?
No.
We can build you one.
Do I need to? Oh.
It's just an option. Picking up a new skill. I'm picking up whittling.
Are you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. I mean,
I do want XP.
It's something to do on the road.
Now, could you pass me that bucket? You're going to love what I do with it.
I don't like the sound of this already. But yeah, I mean, she does pass you the bucket.
Sparklonius jumps straight in. Blue loop?
Yeah, he does that. That's where he likes to sleep.
Do you just leave your pot behind when you do that? Is it just like a pot next to?
Yeah, I sort of like jump. And the pot stays firmly on the ground, and I slurp into the bucket.
Does the vest stay on top as a blanket?
Yeah, the vest sort of covers the top of the bucket, and I can look out. I can look out through the chin hole, or the neck hole.
Just two rocks.
Yep.
Two pebbles.
They don't. It's not even what you used to see, but they are still there.
Mm-hmm.
It's for our sake.
Sparklonius loves a good visual gag, and it's a visual in multiple ways.
Emphasis on gag.
Sorry, Em, what were you gonna say?
I don't know. All's good.
Okay, so you guys retreat from the hobgoblin camp without a fight. And you guys set up camp. Kandra is very helpful in this respect. Has a fire going, lickety split. Offers to assist anyone who seems to need assistance with the erection of tents. Offers to help with watch. Just is attempting to be generally useful.
I think that we can take watch this evening. Appreciate your excitement, but believe it is my turn tonight. I think after a few charges, we might indeed put you in charge, but you can understand. We should get to know each other first before we put you in charge of our stuff. But if you'd like to stay awake and tend fire, we can exchange stories throughout the evening.
Yeah, that could be nice. Yeah, I think that's sort of how the night winds down. Anything anyone wants to do other than Haribo before crashing?
Thaddeus would tend to his gear, make sure everything's prepared, do his nightly prayer ritual to his deity, and then wind down.
Do we all, when we make camp, do we all have individual tents? What's the vibe? I mean, we have a cart, so having tents is not out of, the realm. I'm just curious, just like
Barson and
Barson sleeps in the
Sparklonius stay in the
wagon.
cart.
Okay, Barson and Sparklonius stay in the cart.
yeah, I mean, Sparkalonius has got a pot.
Aren't we? Wait, are we not? Oh, we've pulled over. I thought we were riding through the night to.
No, I mean, we can ride through the night. It's not, against it, but I think we just mostly wanted to make camp away from the hobgoblins so that we weren't surrounded
Yeah.
by, just in case they wanted to pull something in the night, like we wouldn't be in their camp.
Oh, totally.
But mostly just to stop, like, it seems like we're past the point of driving every night, that we might be camping in between things so that we can get our proper rest in between each of these places, because I think that while we are imagining that we're about to be playing a tour in between all these camps, that we should also be aware that any one of these camps could be a full scrum.
Then I think Marjorie, are we in a woods area or are we like open plains?
Open plains.
Open plains. Okay. Yeah, then I guess I don't think I have a tent in my inventory, so I think I just have a bedroll.
Bedroll. Yeah.
Haribo does have a single person tent that he generally sets up, and you can have it tonight. Like, he can set it up for you, Marjorie, because he knows he's not sleeping. He's on watch, so
That's nice.
or not
And
sleeping.
where's
Like,
Gib?
if what rest he does get will be in the thing. Like, he doesn't need his full tent for the night.
Gib curls up like a cat next to wherever Marjorie's sleeping.
Outside of Marjorie's tent.
That's so cute. My little minion.
I would definitely like to converse with Kandra throughout the evening because I noticed that she has a slew of like unguents and oils and potions, I think is what you said, right? Like just like herbs and shit.
Yeah. I think sort of if that's sort of the initial ask that you're sort of opening conversation with, I think that her explanation sort of amounts to she is a spellcaster for the hobgoblins, but she doesn't have like a particular arcane focus. So like she needs all of this to do her magic.
Yeah, I imagine
Yeah.
that everyone needs all of this to do what they say they do. Uh, yeah, I think I'm more interested in like how each of these things are reacting. Because I see that, you're not hiding behind the pop and circumstance. I've seen other, and he does throw up the air quotes of spellcasters do. But you are indeed relying on, the sort of natural reactions upon these things. And you still, and there's like a little bit of a silence, and he's like, you still think that you are casting magic?
It's hard to know how to respond to that. Think I'm casting magic.
Yeah.
Maybe my grasp of common isn't what I thought it was. I know that I'm casting, like, the magic just happens.
Right.
I
No, it's hard to. I'm kind of new around this area, and I think where I'm from, the way that we deal with these big reactions that you folks call magic is through the base understanding that whatever is causing them is two things sort of interacting, at least two things. Sometimes it's many, many more, but as the simplest thing, we put thing A and thing B together and they cause an explosion. I've seen this time and time again here, right? And you have all sorts of these ingredients. I'm just curious. I don't know. It seems so straightforward for me that you are just putting two pieces together. I like that. I don't know. I'm curious. Maybe this in exchange of common and goblin that I have picked up is not going perfectly. I understand these conversations don't, but um just curious. Where do you sit on this whole magic thing? Because
I think I understand where you're coming from. I suppose if all that I had ever seen was like the reaction of substances, touching each other. Uh, if all I'd ever seen was a grenade, I wouldn't understand a wand or an amulet or anything like that. Um, okay. Uh, Here, and she rummages around in her belt, and she gives you. Um, I think she pulls out like a small vial and also like a little bag of powder. And she opens up the bag of powder
little
and
spoon.
uh,
All right, now let's talk about magic.
and she um, oh, you've poisoned my mind.
Now try to think of a different way to use this powder.
Okay, there's the scene. She she hands you the bag of powder and the vial, and she says, "You can take these, and you can combine them in any way that you can think of. But if you just use these two parts, you'll never get the full equation. There is, like, you're on the right track. It sounds like to me, but there's a third part in the magic, and that's, the power. The components give it shape, give it give it a form to fill, mold maybe. um, but the power itself, that's what fuels the magic. For me, it comes from me. and I let it out through these chemicals. You can combine them in any which way, but you won't be able to produce the effect that I can with them because you won't have that third part. And I feel like there was a next portion of my monologue, but it has escaped me. So that's all that she says. No, in fact, she takes the vial back from you and she pops the cork out and she drips a few drops, just on her hand. She corks it and gives it back to you, and she takes a pinch of the powder and she sprinkles it, and then she holds up her hand, and like electricity, sparks of voltage, arc from finger to finger just on the hand here. It's like, but you can't do that.
Haribo holds up his hand, and sparks of electricity travel up his belt and down his arm and then bounce in between each of his fingers. Because Haribo currently has the cantrip Shock and Grasp because of his belt.
That's the one that I was doing. Yeah.
Haribo goes, channeling the electric. He says, "I indeed can. I guess our like electrics are like looking. They're doing the same thing. They're bouncing off each other." He's like, "This is
if we were sitting close enough, they would be interacting." Yes.
This is exactly what I sort of am meaning, is that there is a third ingredient. In my case, I have figured out those three ingredients and figured out how to continuously get them interacting when I need them to. Might be more than three in my case, but in your case, if it is three, that is fantastic if we can get it down to three, but we need to figure out what that third ingredient is. If you know for a fact what these two ingredients are, that third ingredient comes from somewhere. And if we can figure out... I
already told you, it comes from me.
Yeah. That's interesting, because mine does not come from me, and he's still charging his... Mine comes from the interaction of all of these things.
It doesn't have to. The power has to... That third ingredient does have to come from somewhere. It doesn't necessarily have to come from you. No. I've heard of folks...
And from the wagon, Sparkalonius shouts, "And it doesn't come from God."
I was about to talk about folks that it comes from God, but looks like Sparkalonius has got it covered.
You can think what you want to think, but in the wagon there is no God.
Hey, do you speak for Barson?
It's the heathen wagon.
Yeah, no God, yeah.
This is... as the clamor dies down and the crackle returns, he says, "This is exactly the roadblock I continuously hit. I have found myself in conversation with a number of, more rather intellectual folk around this area and in this place. I find myself like yourself, who have a grasp on what they are doing, but have a different explanation for how it is happening. And maybe one day I will see that happen for myself, but I have yet to see that spark of what I cannot understand. While I do not yet understand it all, I think I can. I just have to have the right study or the right thing. Nothing has struck me as, that yet. But I do appreciate your input. It is conversations like this how I continue to grow my understanding of it.
Wielders of magic, at least like the 3 or 4 that I've ever talked to, I think they all sort of have a moment in common. They all have that that moment where they realize something fundamental about their power. And generally, that's the moment that the power is manifested. That's usually how it happens. But not always, I suppose. So you'll have your moment. It'll come. Just gotta, be patient for it, I suppose. Or go looking. You seem like the kind of guy that might like to just go looking.
I'd like to
So
find it myself.
maybe you just start sticking your nose in places.
I'm good at
You
that.
know?
I'm good at that. As Haribo, does she remain up with Haribo throughout his watch?
No. I think she'll stay up for like another half an hour or so, just kind of, shooting the shit, or sitting in companionable silence.
Yeah, he's a little disconnected, I think, from the rest of that. And once he's left alone, it's definitely not set in for him yet. But he is. I recall how intense I felt when we lost Gib, and so Haribo got intense in that moment too. Just thinking about like what Haribo actually said was bring him back. So I think that Haribo is like having a moment where he is remembering that he did in fact actually ask Marjorie for more than he should have, or like, that's not something that he could have done, right? That's not something that he could have just understood how it was about to happen or whatever. He asked Marjorie to perform something that he did not grasp. And so that is setting in for him that something has possibly happened with Gib and Marjorie, and he wants to talk to Marjorie a little bit more about what she did to Gib, how she healed him when he was hurt in this way.
That's tasty.
But it's dark
how'd you hurt
and
him,
everyone's
and then how did
asleep.
you unhurt him?
Player Grace is gonna have to do some research before our next session, because I don't know.
This will be a fun conversation.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna chat with me about it off stream, we can definitely go over how I think all of that works. Figure out how much Marjorie does or doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like a moment while Haribo is at the thing. I remembered one thing I did want to do, and that is a moment of taking in the situation, because he's being surrounded by a lot of people speaking Goblin right now, and it is important for him to try to learn Goblin. So he wants to see if he can pick up any like language from this evening. That's most of what he was attempting to do while he was being social, is like try to be social so he can pick up language.
Instinct says like a flat intelligence check, unless you can think of like a relevant intelligence skill that.
I mean,
would be
for
better.
me, the only pitch I would have is investigation, because I am focused on like doing this for the evening. Like that was my focus of the socializing, getting one drink and not drinking all of it, so that I am aware enough to
I
try
could
to
see investigation. I could also see an argument for Arcana if you were like somehow using the belt to like record.
I think that's a fantastic, like sort of my knowledge technology check that we've been making up.
Yeah, I would like I think Arcana would probably be the other one that I like. Investigation, Arcana, or Flat Intelligence.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
But which one are you going with?
I'm gonna roll the sort of investigation through my belt. I like that being sort of my anchor, like recording bits in here so I can like play them back when it's a little private. I can pick up words here. That is in fact a natural 20.
Nice.
Way to go. Yeah, then I think that you had the presence of mind with a natural 20. I think you had the presence of mind to turn on the recording function of your belt like as you were getting out of the wagon.
Yeah, when we were setting up.
And you just had it rolling. And I think perhaps with like space technology, I could definitely see the belt giving you sort of like a hooked on phonics as it is sort of matching up phrases and things
Mm-hmm.
in the camp. I could see the rest of the evening playing out like the belt saying words in Goblin and you trying to translate and helping the belt figure out what they mean and sort of establishing a dictionary between the two of you.
Very much Duolingo.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
are
it's
you ready to
Duolingo,
do study?
but it's like
God,
two.
shut up.
It's two parts. Like it's the blind leading the blind a little bit because you have to tell the belt what these things in Goblin mean, and so I don't know that the result is perfect, but it will get better the more often you do this.
Yeah, I mean, I've been struggling with how to pick up Goblin. I've attempted once or twice even in our campaign now to like do a check or two to pick up a word or two while we've been chatting with goblins. But this is the first time it's done well, where I've been able to utilize the belt and the technology I've improved upon it to help with this.
I think now you have a bad auto translate.
Yeah. I like that. I like
but
that.
like a bad auto translate that will grow as you grow.
Yeah.
And like figure out what's going on with it.
Yeah, the goal is learn Goblin.
We're getting a translating AI and we're training it with the data set of goblins. Got it.
Yep. And we're also teaching goblins modern technology.
And we're teaching them. Wait, is it the goblins, the kobolds that we're teaching Shakespeare?
Kobolds.
The kobolds.
Kobolds get art. Goblins get culture. Technology.
Yeah, we're doing it the hard way though with the kobolds. No cheating, no shortcuts. Just text on a page.
You better get off.
Here's the script. So the first thing that I created with my motive potential was the script of the Merchant of Venice.
College of creating this script. Get off book.
And I think with the shot of Haribo and his belt talking in rough Goblin, and we look up at the stars. Camera fades to black.
Neato. Show one.
Softly from the wagon. Play that funky music, white boy.
Good night, Boston.
Yeah, and we'll set off for next camp, and the ramifications of everything we've done this evening. Next.
So, how many episodes until our new companion dies? How many episodes do you guys think? I'm gonna say 2.
By the end of it, I'm gonna bring him back and have another minion, and every NPC.
Oh my gosh!
We are gonna have a guild.
We need to stop feeding Marjorie minions. She's gonna outnumber the party soon.
We're gonna have
agree with Sparkalonius that it's 2 episodes before this one dies.
I mean, I'm
not as emotionally attached to.
Haribo's gonna get along with Kandra for sure.
Kandra.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, do I think she's making it out of here? No. Do I think it's 2 episodes? Maybe not. Are we gonna be like on the border about to leave and she gets hit with an arrow? Probably. Is she dying as she crosses the line? 100%.
What do you guys think?
Instant death, border death spell.
Is that 2 episodes from now? I don't know.
Maybe she betrays us and she gets turned by the gray guy.
She's not on our team.
Yeah, she's a guide right now, but she's an NPC guide that wants to leave. She's been set up with the narrative joy of every anime and dying as she tries to leave as we go to leave.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. Let's,
free.
I'm free. Exactly. She is free, but is she? She's done.
See, I only watch the cutesy romance anime, so that's just not within my realm of awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I do have a soft spot for anime that hurts me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is what Kendra feels like. The moment Lawrence was like, how many episodes till she dies? I was like, she's not tugging her heartstrings hard enough to die yet. We don't care enough about her for her to be shot off our horse
We
yet.
have to hear more about her family and her
Mm-hmm.
parents' dying business and how this, you know.
And also the goals that she has for her life.
Mm-hmm. She needs to improve once or twice in our presence, and then she can die.
She needs to see the world and then die. Is that what it is?
Yeah, like just the edge of the world, the beginning of seeing the world.
Yeah, she dies on a like a bluff, looking out on a beautiful
The
landscape.
first time to see beyond
He
the
dies
beautiful
of a-
landscape.
Potential.
as the
off.
sun comes up.
And we see,
Well,
and the camera zooms out, and we just see a shape falling down the bluffs. We know it's her.
We
That's
are
the
going
credits
up the top
roll.
of a mountain, so you know, or the base of a mountain.
GG's
Maybe
gang.
she's gonna climb up.
Dang,
That shit's good.
dang.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about
I
Chekhov's
hadn't
gun.
thought of any of this. So thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll think it for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's a
a
collaborative
team building
medium.
narrative game. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Collaborative
Mhm.
experience.
Yep.
Mhm.
We're gonna hurt ourselves together.
You know you're doing a good job when the audience starts to spitball.
Yeah.